Oh, thank you.
Hey, Ezzy, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I like the shirt.
Thank you.
Hey, congrats on year six for you. I do know that. I got the other one wrong. Hey, just as the sort of the longest tenured sort of player here, with continuous tenure player here, you've seen this franchise when it's won championships, when it's at its totally best. What did this year, what wasn't quite there this year? Did you guys squeeze again all of the juice out of this orange? And what was it this year that, again, you've seen you guys when you've won championships?
Yeah, I think that's kind of like, I guess, for lack of a better word, the beauty of a season. I think, um, anything can happen any given year, and I feel like we just never really, I guess, found a consistent groove this season. And we know what we're capable of. We know like the talent that we have on the team, and so just trying to find that. Obviously, a big goal was to make the playoffs, and we were able to do that. And so just definitely proud of the team for doing that. But um, obviously not completely satisfied with the run, and I think I could speak for everyone when we say that, but just um, yeah, I think just probably trying to find a groove consistently was something that we were struggling to do.
As a year, obviously a free agent this offseason, I know the CBA affected a lot of players not signing past this season. But are you hoping to return to Seattle, or what are you looking for in free agency conversations once there is a new CBA?
Yeah, just I think, obviously continuing to have conversations. It's crazy to think that I've been here for 6 years, um, getting drafted as a 19-year-old, and then coming when I was 20 is, something that a lot of people dream of, and I've been able to experience that, and just to be able to kind of grow up in Seattle as well. That's been something that's been really special to me. So yeah, just being able to go through the free agency process. Sorry, so many people are free agents, which is also crazy to think it's going to be exciting with the new CBA and to see how the league will look. But yeah, I think just what I need to do a better job of is reflecting on seasons, and so I think that's what I'm going to do. Just postseason reflect and just go from there.
Uh, in the final game against Vegas, we finally saw at the end of that game you out there with NECA and Dom, which is something that fans have kind of, I think, been talking about throughout the season, wondering whether that might be something that could work. Have you had any conversations about that? Have you thought about that as possibly part of the future?
Yeah, definitely thought about it. I think, obviously Dom, Necker, and I are tall. um, and so just I think it's exciting to see the versatility in each of us and to see that lineup. Um, obviously in the final game was kind of was pretty cool. I love playing with Dom, I love playing with Necker, and so yeah, I mean, if there's ever, a situation where there's a possibility to have all three of us on court, I think that's really exciting, defensively and offensively as well.
Your big sister says that NECA says
Yeah.
that you are both. I just want to make sure.
It's okay. My sister was just here in Seattle. I was like, what'd she say?
Well, she didn't talk to us, but anyways, your big sister, your basketball big sister, said
Yeah.
you are both gracious and ferocious. Can you take us to a little bit inside of ferocious Ezzy, because we don't ever see that.
Yeah, not a lot of people do. I think, I don't know why. I feel like it's just my demeanor to be kind of like even killed externally. I feel like the ferociousness is probably happening internally. And I feel like just when I'm with people every day for 6 months, they probably see that. And so I feel like that's probably something Necker is talking about. Um, but I don't know. It's definitely in me. I know I don't always show, like if I have like a big block or if someone has a big play, I know I don't always show how hype I am. But basketball is a competitive sport, and so I think it's inevitable that it brings that out of you. Um, so yeah, just know it's in there.
Ezzy, to kind of build off of that, and what Neka said about you, she said you always kind of go back to being yourself. You're always, in your own self. Can you speak to, the relationship with her that you've had these last few seasons, having, as she said, like a big sister in that regard, just playing with Neka? Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting emotional. I'm sorry. Um, I just think when you're able to play with great players, it's really special. But when you're able to play with great people as well, that's not something that everyone gets to experience. And so I've just been really fortunate to be able to play with Neka these past couple of seasons and just to be able to learn from her, see how she goes about the day to day. It's incredible and it's like nothing I've ever seen before. And just the way that she's able to uplift players and uplift me, I think specifically, and not in a way that's like rah rah. Like she just gets me, and I feel like when you have a player like that, you want to meet them where they're at, and so um, whether I tell her enough or not, I feel like Neck has had such a huge impact on my career the last couple of years, and yeah, I just love her as a person, as a player, as a friend, as a sister, and yeah.
All right, we'll go to Zoom for a few questions. Jeff Brown, go ahead.
Hi, Ezzy. That's tough to follow up, but it was a little bit of a down offensive season for you, but it's not a lack of talent. I see you scoring 30 points in the Olympics and stuff. Uh, would you like to take on more offensive responsibility within this team?
Um, yeah, I think for sure. I think my probably defensive game is something that's um, more talked about, probably, especially this past season. Um, but I feel like, obviously, like you said, my offensive game is there. I think just being able to, um, find, I guess, my role in a particular team and whether that's um, being more dominant offensively, I think that's something that I, would obviously want to do. But, being able to play with Neko, with Sky, with Gabby, with so many offensive threats, um, you obviously could just try to find, where you fit in that. And so, sorry, I just blanked out. But yeah, I think offensively, it's something I'm always trying to grow my game in. And so I definitely, want to remain consistent with that and grow my game offensively and just be confident in that.
Thank you.
Hey, Ezzy, thanks for spending time with us. What does the off season look for you? And more specifically, what do you intend to improve on in your game?
Yeah, off season, I am not going back to Europe this year, so I'm going to take some time off. Um, I think just going back to back seasons has been a lot the last few years, and so just taking time to kind of reset, spend time at home with my family, which I'm really excited about, and um, yeah, so it won't be completely off, but I think just being able to take a break from the back to back 4 seasons in Europe is something that's on the horizon. And in terms of what I'm looking to
All right, last question. We'll go to Zoom. Christian, go ahead.
Yes. There's been a lot of talk about your offensive game not really being there and just kind of the production kind of lacking compared to last year, right? But I think a lot of things that kind of get lost in translation is also just like game plan, kind of how teams guard you. Also, just sharing the ball with like four different all-stars, future Hall of Famers. Like we've seen your game blossom when we know what you can do. Sometimes it's just kind of like how the game dictates and what it calls for. Do you feel like that's how it's been more so this season? Because last year, I mean, you and Neca were used more of like hubs kind of around the 10, 15 foot range on the free throw line. So it's like that's kind of changed this year. I'm just kind of wondering, how do you feel this season? And also, like, can't really remember, it feels like a month and a half ago, coach said that you weren't really up to yourself. Like maybe you were still like nursing an injury, possibly. She didn't really go into detail, right? I'm not necessarily asking you, just like, do you think that played into this year as well?
um yeah, I think, like seasons change, and yeah, I think last year, obviously, offensively, I was um, producing a little more, and I think just with the way our offense was this year, it changed, and so just being able to, still find pockets to perform and make an impact offensively, whether that's putting myself in actions, or I think I could have rebounded the ball better this season as well, and just being able to create um, from that. And so I think just being able to be versatile and when I push the ball in transition, I think that's when we play in transition, that's when we play our best basketball. So just being able to create and, find pockets and moments. You don't always need to get shots created for you, but I think what makes players great is just being able to, find moments and ways to impact the team in other ways as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.